right, and we are live in Corpus Christi. Today we have a very interesting, very good day ahead of us because I will finally be driving the Shelby GT500. But first, I need some coffee because I've been up since 12 o'clock at night without any caffeine, so coffee first.
Otro nivel, tu majestuosidad me eleve. Ponte salvaje si te atreves.
Corpus, just filling in the vibe, filling in the vibe. Alright, so like I mentioned earlier, we're going to be driving a Shelby GT500, but first let me introduce to you the 1965 backdraft Shelby Cobra.
Out in the summer, yeah. Out in the summer, yeah. Out in the summer, the winner don't stand no chance.
Gotta watch your front and your back, be careful who you hugging, you dab. Cause these ain't your brother like that, don't really love you like that. From the land of snakes, trying to be a great, trusting everybody that I love, that was my mistake. Turn me cold-hearted to a savage. If you f me over, I ain't giving out passes.
So there you have it, guys, the 1965 Shelby Cobra. So we're gonna turn the car off because we were trying to let it warm up. What an absolute legendary car. I love the whole entire combination of this car. Like, if this does not scream pure Shelby, I don't know what does. We have the Shelby wheels, the vented fenders. You know what? I can't tell you about this car. How about we have Mark explain to you a little bit more about this beautiful car.
This came up from a good buddy of mine and said this is the most beautiful example of a Cobra that I've ever seen. It has a Gen 3 Coyote motor in it with velocity stacks, Tremec 6-speed, independent rear suspension, Willwood brakes, triple nickel nittos all the way around. And then so this thing, the next venture for this after today is going to be Austin Road Course. So we'll see you up there for sure. The backdraft, there's versions, there's different types of replicas. This is a replica. This one, the difference between the backdraft versus factory 5. Factory 5s typically have a 302 carbureted or 427 solid rear axle 5-speed. These are set up, kind of their pedigree is ready to race and really get after it. And so what they do here is independent rear suspension. You know, again, the brakes, big fat rear tires, sticky tires, 6-speed. That's what really makes a difference. And this thing will, believe it or not, dead hook first, second to third. And not even chirp a tire. It's amazing. And
the specs on this car is absolutely stunning. The white with the blue stripe and also the red pinstripe just really ties it all together. It really just screams America, in my opinion.
Yes, darn right it does. An eagle might come out of the hood here.
Woo! Look at that. Individual throttle bodies. And look at this clean setup. How everything just looks so perfect.
They paint match the valve covers, the velocity stacks to the car, put it together with Dexter style precision.
Yeah, definitely. I like how all the piping is just very subtle. We have AN fittings, we have the individual throttle bodies with the red covers. You know, just little increment details that just make the car pop with like the red and all that. Speaking of red, we have, this is probably one of my favorite things about the car, is that shift knob. It just stands out.
Carbon fiber dash, and then the leather with the red stitching just kind of really ramps it up, especially with the red belts and everything.
When they spec'd this car, they did an absolute wonderful job with not going over the top with stuff. Y'all know on my Cobra, when I was doing some interior mods, I was like, I'm not gonna put snakes everywhere. It has to be an even balance of things. And another thing that I like about this car is how it has like, the rivets, the exposed rivets.
That was on the originals, so if you look at the originals do have this, and then they also have these pins here. This is actually for like a leather tonneau cover that snaps on. And so that's what those are for. And this also has like a Bohemi top that clips on, so it has a hard top with the same matching racing stripe as well. I put that in the attic right away because I ain't gonna use that.
Yeah, this is a summertime car, top down at all times.
It gets a little bit confined with the top on.
Yeah,
I'm tall, it doesn't work for me.
I've seen Shelby Cobras before. I've never seen one that looks like this. It has a little bit of pearl in it, right?
Yeah, we didn't realize that until it was actually in the sun. Even
in the sun, it's not like something too crazy where it's too classy. Perfect. Also, the little modern touches like the vented fender, this ties in very well with the exhaust. And also back here, this is all nice modern touches that they added to the car, which I think is enough about grandpa here. We also have 2020 Shelby GT500. If y'all have been paying attention to the channel, y'all have seen this car at the Texas Mile. This is a car that gets put to work. There's 3 colors that I have on my top 3 on the Shelby GT500. That's the Ford Performance Blue. It's like a yellow color. I don't know what the yellow color is called. And the Twister Orange. This color looks absolutely amazing. So if you want to see this car running at the Texas Mile, I'll leave the links to those videos down below.
This car, when it had 100 miles on it, was on the road course up at BIR International in Brainerd. And then I moved down to Texas here, shipped it down, found my shop, did some vetting for about a year, found the shop 2-0 Performance in San Antonio. Ange and Chris there are amazing. We went under the knife with this thing, and what we did is we did headers, E85, injectors, fuel rails, intercooler block, pulley, roll bar. I didn't have the roll bar in the first mile, but we got out there. I had to do a license pass, so 140 to 170, that was the first run. Then 170 to 199, that was the second run. And then I asked Chris, I said, are we good to send this thing over 200? He said, let's do it. Third run, 203.
203, man.
Literally the first 3 times I've ever ran at the mile, and the only reason I didn't go 200 the first 2 times is because I had to get a license.
Yeah.
Otherwise we would have.
Yeah, so there is a process when you're at the mile to ensure safety and all that stuff for good reasons. But man, with these Mustangs, I mean, y'all saw the Mach 1. I believe it hit like 190 last time.
Right up there.
Yeah, he got right up there. Whippled, I think it has a 840 wheel horsepower.
It's making steam.
Yeah, it's making steam. How much are you pushing?
It's just a scotch over like 920.
920 with very little miles.
We're legit into it for under a blower swap, and you're running 200 miles an hour. It's the way to go.
Mark has blessed me and told me that I can actually drive this thing, and I have been wanting to drive a Shelby GT500 for quite some time. So thank you very much for allowing me to take this car out on the road. I cannot wait. So without further ado, let's take these 2 bad boys out on the road. It is so loud and it's so sensitive. These seats fit me very well. That's the thing that I like about newer cars. You can adjust every little thing, like the steering wheel, literally everything. So I'm pretty comfortable. I can see everything really good. This is a lot bigger than the Cobra. The hood is a lot higher, a lot longer, but man, I am so excited. The best thing about this car is that it is an automatic transmission, so I can film perfectly fine without having to worry about shifting. It is kind of nice not to have to worry about all that. That car is really like the Daytona. It has a 5.0 Gen 3 Coyote motor, but it still sounds like an old school car. It doesn't have like a raspy, you know, ugly sound to it. It sounds super clean and really has that old school like rump. Alright, let's see what this puppy got. Oh my goodness. Woo! I wasn't expecting that. It almost has like a turbo-like feel. It's very subtle and then all of a sudden it just pulls on you. Woo! Oh my goodness, what an impressive car. 900 horsepower has never felt any better. I can tell you. I haven't driven anything this up to date. Man, what an incredible car. I think I'm sold on the Shelby GT500. Woo, America, baby! All right, I think it's my turn. Wow! I really got a good RPM and good gear right there. Holy smoke. By the way, smokes is the nice word for you know what. You really can't get any better than driving next to the beach in these badass cars just completely showing out. And what a showstopper that car is. What's pretty cool is that I have it on sport mode, but you can also downshift and control the shifting, which is pretty cool. I mean, I didn't know that you could do that, but still pretty cool. Be careful on those speed bumps or those bumps on the road, because I don't want to mess anything up on this car. This is out of my price range. What's going on, man? This right here is really giving off California vibe with the Well, we don't have a beach, but with the Gulf. With the Gulf. Good enough. Green water, but hey, good enough. Bro, the car sounds so good. This car, man, it's probably one of the best driving cars I have ever driven ever. It almost kind of feels like a turbo. The first time I got on it, it like went, and then all of a sudden like the boost kicked in.
Yeah, it likes to eat above like 4,500. Once you get it up above 5, it just more. Give me more.
Yeah, it was on a different level once it's really got into that boost. One thing I can say about this car is that, like, especially with the 350. Now, I didn't drive the 350, but I drove this one, and I can tell you that it feels relatively the same. This does not feel like a rear-wheel drive car.
No. At
all. Like, the handling is immaculate. And may I remind you, this is a 900 horsepower, 900 rear wheel horsepower. That means it's putting it to the ground car on Nitto NT555.
Yep.
That's pretty impressive. And that's not the stickiest tire out on the market. I had no problem hooking. Now I know why you don't change the tires out in a mile.
No, we use them up north. This is like legit. These same tires, when I don't run drag slicks on my race car, I run those on a 1500 wheel horse car.
Yeah.
So I mean, they work.
When I drove the 1000 wheel horsepower Supra, it had the MT Street SS or something like that. And those were very impressive as well. I'm actually pretty shocked at how well these tires hook.
I'm all in under this car for under $100,000.
$100,000 for a 900 wheel horsepower animal. I don't know if you mind sharing what you paid for the car, because that is mind-boggling. I mean, you got a really good deal on it.
$73,000.
$73,000 for a Twister Orange GT500 2020 DCT transmission. Sounds amazing, drives amazing. What more can you ask for?
I mean, to get into something else, you'd be in GTR category, everything else, and you're spending $250,000.
Good luck if you break it.
Right.
If you break that transmission, you're in 40, 50 grand just to rebuild it.
Back to your 350 point. So the big difference, the 350s are badass machines, even though they don't have a supercharger. I mean, even with a supercharger, they're badass. The biggest difference that I've found, and I've had one, you get rid of the manual at the DCT, that was the game changer. When that happened, I mean, this thing on the road course, I've done nothing but quarter mile my entire life, and I'm like, holy shit, they made a Mustang that handles.
Yeah.
Let's get out on the road course and go. And son of a gun, I went to Charlotte with this car, not with this car, but I drove other 500s out there, and then drove 5-speed race cars. They do that on purpose to prove a point. The technology in this car can make anybody look like a hero on the road course. I hit 1.3 Gs in the corner in this thing, and I'm not a road course guy, I'm a Mustang guy. They don't brake, they don't brake, they don't turn, but god dang it, they go fast.
Yeah,
and so now they compiled it all together, and that's where I think they just knocked it out of the park with this machine.
Way above the clouds, that's my plane. Working, mad, that's my name. Things I understand, that's my pain. Jan up the set, yo, that's my game. Me and them, yo, we're not the same. Mountain baby, I can't be tamed. Lifestyle mentor, riding ways, I'll Rooney up them bars that rain. I come to turn up, like 1-2 flame, just burn up. Like 1-2 lesson, just learn up. Like 1-2 cash, just earn up. Like fling down the vibe, just turn up. Like 1-2 flame, just burn up. Like 1-2 lesson, just learn up. Like 1-2 cash, just earn up. Selective, selective. Everything I do selective. Everywhere I go selective. I get the info, yeah, detective.
I will say that taking off in first gear is a little different than what I'm used to. You kind of have to get on the accelerator just a little bit just to get it going, because if you kind of ease up on it softly, it's not gonna go. I'm not used to it, but you know, we're getting it going. Oh, the downshift. The downshift. And the best part is that you don't even have to do anything.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, we're gonna whip you here and park there.
Okay, sounds good.
Things to lifestyle, yeah, that normal brings, but really, yeah, there's no such thing.
Alright, time to get something to eat. Man, the car just sounds too good. I had to.
Selective. Everything I do selective.
Yeah, you know, those cars are becoming less and less common. The Chevelle, that's Chevelle, right?
Yeah.
I don't think all of them come with the 4 circle lights or whatever.
That's Chevelle, right? Not a Nova.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. I'm not really that good with classic American. Yeah, it's something. So we're gonna try oysters here. My second time trying oysters. The first time it really wasn't too bad, but I was, you know, a little younger. I don't really remember the flavor, and I just kind of swallowed it. This time, Mark recommended that we take one bite and then swallow. Boom! Bottoms up. Cheers. That's really good. That's really good. What's up with me, man? I'm turning from ghetto to fancy, man. I gotta stop hanging around with people like this. Break that loose, bottoms up. Man. Water Street Oyster Bar. Legit, if you're in Corpus Christi, come check it out. 200 horsepower. I'm kind of shaking right now. That last pull really gave me a little bit of a scare, but not nothing too crazy. It's just, I'm so amazed by this power. It feels so good. The thing about every car, I know that, yeah, that's probably a terrible angle, and we're getting up close and personal. Every car, there's an art form to get in, and this one, probably the most challenging yet.
It's a giggle machine.
What a fun car. You know, it really does remind me of the Daytona. It feels similar. They do a good job with dialing down the old school sound with these cars.
There's a reason it doesn't have a radio.
Right. All the sound that you need is coming from that exhaust. Yes, sir.
There I got it to
yes, sir. What a showstopper. This is the same thing that happened to me in the Daytona. Everyone's just snapping pictures, giving you the thumbs up. What a car, what a car. God bless Mr. Carroll Shelby. Oh, no. Oh, no. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. And it's even better when you're accompanied with a fellow car enthusiast. Life, man, life. If you can appreciate the little things, you can enjoy life. Yeah, for real. I need to preserve my hearing.
5 years we'll be shooting EV content.
No, sir. No, thank you. It opens up so nicely. It's true what you said. Like, once it gets up there, it gets loud. And it's very conservative. Like, it's still loud and subtle, but man, when it opens up, it opens up. Oh my goodness. What a car. What a true experience with that car. But this is like, they just don't make them like they used to. And this is a truly well-built car. I mean, I was pretty surprised with the suspension. Man, what an experience, brother. Thank you so much, man. And I appreciate you trusting me in your house. And yeah, I guess we'll see you guys at the Texas Mile. It is 1:40 a.m. I've officially been up for 25 hours because I've been up since 12, I think 25, 26 hours, I don't even know. But man, I want to give a huge shout out to Mustang Mark for providing me with this opportunity, and really anyone that has been giving me an opportunity to drive their incredible cars. I truly am just grateful right now for those opportunities. I know that you know, you kind of have to be a car guy to understand like the feeling and why a person like me is so happy about driving these cars and getting these opportunities, especially when you're not really at that level yet. So thank you, Mark. I appreciate the talk that we had. I mean, we were talking for hours. We could have went forever. Super grateful, man. What can I say? Super motivated right now. Excited for the content that I'll be bringing this year. And yeah, man. So we leave in a couple hours. I'll be headed back on the road to San Antonio to see my beautiful children, and I can't wait to spend time with them. So with that being said, if you enjoyed today's video, you know exactly what to do. And remember, be motivated, stay driven.